of the schmutz.
Frankie Weiss in the house?
I'll be right there.
He's always late. He's always the last one in. You got your shirt on?
I don't have my shirt.
Where's the shirt? You were holding it.
No shirt.
They didn't have to.
Okay, my name is Randy Kalfas, and this is the Brotherhood of the Schmutz. You may be asking, what is the Brotherhood of the Schmutz? Well, the Brotherhood of the Schmutz is a bunch of old guys.
No, we weren't all that.
Let me finish. We started off very young. Every Saturday morning, we would arrive at the cleaners to have our little chat. We sit around like we're standing now, a bunch of chairs, the back of the counter, and we used to be in front of the counter until Heather got there. One day, Heather walked in the store, and we were all standing around. The customers were outside. She got a little angry. From that time on, Paul Rockoff would stand outside. He'd kind of be our lookout. Anyhow, that's another story. When Heather retires. All right. What we're going to do today is just talk a little bit about what we always talk about. We talk about solving the problems of the world. But more than that, we laugh. And we laugh, and we laugh, and we laugh. And we're going to all miss that now, except the good thing is we now meet at the diner instead. As you can see, we eat very well.
Does he know that we laugh at him?
He has no clue.
Okay, so who we have up here, Frankie Weiss, shirtless. And on this side we have Lee Burnett, Paul Rockoff, Jerry Busker, Marvin Busker, and Andy Lisbon. And everybody has a few words to say. So without further ado, why don't you lead us on?
Top Hat cleaners meant more to me probably than anybody else. Every day I leave my house on the way to the community center, 6:30, 6:45, and I never knew if I would make it. So I would go in, would never say anything to anybody, just go right into the bathroom.
Also known as the office.
Use the office, get out and leave. And it might be 2 days, 2 days. But also, what Top Hat Cleaners was it was a place of dreams. Kind of like Spanky and our He-Man, Woman Hated Clothes. We would go there, we would have dreams, we talked about it. Or another place it would be maybe like Muggs sat at Louie's Candy Shop, Dead End Kids, where we'd make plans. And at other times, it was like funny. It would be Mystic Night at the Sea Lodge with Amos and Andy. And in closing, I always remember the words of that great lawyer, J.C. Calhoun, that these boys is good boys.
Next we're going to have Dr. Paul Rockoff.
Can you
Kenny invited me to join probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And he'd been pleading me to join many years before that, but I was kind of, he said, oh, you got to come. It's all the guys you grew up with. So I finally started coming on Saturday morning. And you know what? It's more like a family. And actually, it's more like a congregation, because we actually held High Holy Day services. No, this is true at St. Mary. Trying to see. But it's just meant a lot to me, and I'm glad at least we're going to continue it at the diner. We can't stay as long because I think sometimes we overstay our welcome. But that's all. I just appreciate the invitation.
Next, we got Frankie Weiss.
Well, my memories of Top Hat go back at least 50 plus years. The earliest recollection is when Kenny and I, when football season would start, we'd go next door to the pharmacy, pick up every football magazine that there was, and look forward to our New York Giants having a good season. But memories for Kenny and I go back at least 50 plus years. We share a lot of things in common. We have mutual cousins, we have mutual aunt and uncle. We both love Chinese food. We both love going over bridges and looking down at the water. And we had great memories of Sunday afternoons at Kenny's house on Daniel Drive, watching football, laying down on the rug, watching the Giants. Never letting Robbie join us. He didn't want to. And halftime going outside and playing touch football. And those memories, whether it's 30, 40, 50 years ago, just never go away. We're happy to have you.
Well, I'm fairly new to the Brotherhood. Actually, it's about 10 years. But I will say this, that I believe that I have known and had a relationship with Kenny longer than anybody else in this entire room, except for Lynn. Robbie, Toby, Lynn, anybody. And I can say that with confidence, I believe, because I am 10 days younger than Kenny. And Lil and my mother were in the hospital together. And back then in the 40s, I don't believe that there was 1-bed, 2-bed rooms. There was a long room with lots of beds. And my understanding is that we were in the same room. And so, therefore, within 10 days, Kenny and I struck up a relationship. I think that I've known him as long as certainly anybody in this room. But and our relationship continued through the years, through the childhood, through our childhood years. In high school, we went together, Williams High School, all together. And just one other fact is that 5 years before I married my Marcia, Kenny and I double dated. And Kenny's date was Marcia. And I got even from up as far as the Brotherhood, Saturday mornings when we meet, it's wonderful. As Paul said, we talk about everything. I mean, Randy and I, of course, are diehard Yankee fans. So Randy would say to me something like, "You see the game last night? Yeah, total domination. Yeah, forget about it." You know. And then Paul would come in with some idiotic comment, about the Red Sox. How good they are. But we'll talk about everything: sports, restaurants, movies, world politics, local politics. Marvin, who the is Marvin? But as Paul said, it is a great relationship, and
You can tell he charges by the hour as a lawyer.
And I will say this, that as up while we're talking and have to go to the counter, go to the conveyor, get something off the rack. I mean, people disturb us. And I will say this, I'm sitting at a table now, but can't say this, my friend, that as far as I'm concerned, I think all of us, you can sit at the head of the table because you are the chairman of the board.
I just want to point out, just because he's as old as Kenny, we're not. Next we have Marvin Busker. Marvin is a longtime member who's kind of moved away a little bit, but you see, one of the things I forgot to tell you earlier is that we have our meetings every Saturday, but you know, every once in a while, somebody goes away, you know, we've gone on vacation, or not feeling that well, but we're always there because we have the telephone. The cell phones are out now, there's a new invention. So everybody, if they're gone, if they're in Aruba or whatever, we get the phone call. So we always have a full cast of characters, whether we're there or not. Marvin lives up in North Haven, or someplace up in that. So he can't make it down so frequently, so he's one of the phone guys. But he was there for many, many years at the cleaners. We never called it top hat. It was just the cleaners. All right, enough of that. Next we have Marvin.
Introduction. I'm Marvin. Kenny has a nickname for me to carry out Harvey. I'm called Marvelous. Where they got that one from. I'm here to dispel a rumor as to how this was started.
Give him the microphone. Give him the mic.
I'm sorry.
I can't figure out anything.
Don't tell Kathy.
I'm finished. That's all I got to say.
Now you got Hungarian trying to.
Oh boy. That's good. Okay. Another rumor. I'm here to dispel a rumor is how the Schwartz really got started. I don't think Kenny even knows it to this day. One day, I was sitting around as usual, hanging out, and one of the immortal Top Hat employees, I think he's in the Hall of Fame. Is Frank Tovich in the Hall of Fame? Huh?
He sure is.
Okay. Frank came to me, he said, you know, I'm part of the Hungarian underground. And I have very good money-making opportunity for us, but I need a front. So I don't know how he got, Connie Calabrese survived, but she got involved, so we're in trouble. So Frank said to me in confidence, he said, I located a source for genuine Hungarian stuffed cabbage and cholent in Hungary. But there's an embargo in the United States, but I got a way to bring it in. All I need is a front and a place to distribute it. So we put two together and Frank set up the brotherhood. And he was going to bring it in and get it distributed through Mr. Peters next door. Did you ever know that, Kenny?
No.
Well, that's the way it started. Thank Bunny and late Frank Tovich. If anybody doesn't know what cholent is, ask them what you can tell. Now, there's two incidents that are related to me that I will never forget in the Schmutz. I had two pairs of silk boxer shorts given to me by my former wife for Halloween, for Valentine's Day. One I was white with red lips on it, the other one was black with pipes on it, and it was silk. And the only way they could be cleaned was dry cleaned. So I took them into Kenny, of course, Kenny laughed and laughed. And about 3 days later, I saw one of my friend's wives, Sue Farrell, on the street. And she said to me, boy, you got some sexy underwear. I said, how the hell did you know? Well, she said, go into the store. My good friend Kenny, I'll pick one pair up with my name on it. Remember that one? I was, no, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. There were had more dates in 1 week than I ever had. And the second incident, my dear brother, the fashion plate, I was in a relationship and she was a professional Marshalls shopper. She went to Marshalls every week, 3 or 4 stores, and she bought Barbie. And she bought me a pair of slacks because of the designer name, $7, big deal. And I put it in the closet for you, and I started wearing it. It's so ugly, where did you get that? And I didn't have the nerve to tell him. He said, if you continue to do that, wear that, something's going to happen drastically. One Saturday, I took it into the dry clean, picked it up, and Kenny put it out on the rack. And my brother went behind the counter. This is when Kenny had the tailor there. He took one of those big tailor scissors and cut the legs off.
They were purple pants.
What's the matter with purple pants?
The worst part is Kenny had the nerve to charge me for cleaning. Thank you all very much.
Okay. Finally, last but not least, JB, Jerry Buster.
Otherwise known as
Miserable
Many years ago, I started off as a kid working in Taste Delicatessen. And we talked about Sam and Irv writing their memoirs. They never did. Then there's the TV show The Naked City, with 8 million stories in The Naked City. But there's Top Hat Cleaners. Top Hat Cleaners are a bunch of guys, you know, I mean, there's a lot of us in the room that knew Mordecai Woodsham. And every Saturday night we went to Shimshon. And we had a pledge, we had a song. This is how we started off our meeting. We don't need a pledge, we don't need a song. We are the brotherhood of the Schmutz. We are brothers through and through. Anybody needs anything, we are here for one another. Heather, back of the counter, I can throw that out, Randy. What the hell can I say? Paul Gurnett, you know, you didn't mention about every Saturday morning there were 4 papers on the counter. There was the Bridgeport Post, there was the Hungarian Gazette, there was the Lithuanian Slavic newspaper, and there was the New York Post. Paul would sit there over, look at this baby. Look at this baby. Now, as we sit there and talk, all we talk about is, geez, anybody have sex last night? How many times did you wake up and pee? All Paul talks about is this psyllium husk. You got to try this. That's why it took him 5 minutes. He had to go to the bathroom every Saturday morning into the office. Am I right or wrong? It works. It works. It works. I'm trying to send this one. I mean, there are so many stories. What do I have here? I can't get rid of this bag. This is my tie. One Yom Kippur, I was on my way to services, and I decided to go to American Steve instead. And God punished me. So I said to Kenny, I said, how do I get the stain out of my tie? First he says to me, lick it and taste it. Then he goes back. Here's your tie. That's how you get rid of this thing. You know, one other story with Marvin was that he brought a pair of pants in to be altered. And those weren't the purple pants, sorry. These were regular pair of pants. He brought them in to be altered. Marvin tries them on, puts his leg in the pants. Kenny had the leg sewn. So Marvin couldn't put it. Marvin put his hands in the pockets were sewn.
I like you're short enough to
Andy Liskoff, your Navy jacket. We found your Navy jacket. Mr. whatever his name is called me up and said, there's a jacket here. It doesn't fit anybody else, but it would fit you. So here's your Navy jacket. 12 years. 12 years. And closet. Right. They were actually in Lillian's closet. What you doing? Kathy Gurnett, brown pants, blue pants, gray pants, whatever they are, they're here. But we charge interest, so we gotta make a deal here. We can get a map. What else is there? There's not much more I can say. I have a small gift that I sort of stole out of the store. And I think, you don't want to fail. I think this was in the store when Lester was there. This probably went in the store 1953 or 55 or 56. And when I took it into the guy to have it monogrammed, the guy said to me, there's so much dust on it. He says, can I take it off? I said, no. This is over 60 years of dust. So I want you... But I got to tell you that this is. Yeah, I know, but I just said mock jury. Mock jury. But this is the Brotherhood of the Schmutz. Whatever we need, whatever we have to do, baseball game, football game, basketball game, reading the newspaper, whatever it is.
All for one and every man for himself. That's all.
You're not dry cleaning, don't you?
Okay, one more thing.
You're on your own.
Okay, this is for you.
And Heather. Doesn't end.
He's such a miserable bastard. Anyhow, this is for you and Heather. This is from us. For you guys to go away for a weekend or a day,
December.
whatever it's
She probably needs a break.
also happy that you've been talking about retiring for the last 20 years, and we're really happy that it's done.